Hello, my name is Aaron. This is an invitation to philanthropists to consider supporting Fact Mission, a trailblazing nonprofit concept rooted in the conviction that it's more effective to combat misinformation through a novel research initiative than through censorship. Suppression of debate surrounding conspiracy theories not only amplifies skeptics' fears, but also hampers the exploration of valid concerns. Just think back to the COVID pandemic's early days. Discussions suggesting a lab leak origin faced censorship on social media until Twitter dismantled its content moderation. Now, this shift possibly let more misinformation slip through, but it undeniably allowed lab leak advocates to coordinate, and that led to the forced release of internal emails revealing those who most forcefully dismissed the lab leak theory in public privately feared its veracity. This recent documentary highlights the need to investigate a different virus origin claim. This former agent from CIMAR, an apartheid-era South African private military contractor, claimed they intentionally spread the AIDS virus in black populations through injections. The New York Times disparaged the documentary for stoking conspiracy theories. Yet, at the AIDS pandemic's onset, that same paper reported on credible scientists demonstrating that only an unidentified injection could explain AIDS' rapid spread among black populations. See, those 1990 scientists showed early black victims in Africa varied significantly from their white counterparts. Whites had histories of multiple sexual partners and previous sexually transmitted diseases. By contrast, early black cases included infants who never received a blood transfusion and whose parents were uninfected. Most newly infected adults reported no sexual activity for over a year, while the majority of the sexually active were in monogamous relationships without a history of STDs. The Swazi, known for conservative restraint, resided in the sparsely populated autonomous state of Kongwayne, consisting of dispersed farming villages and a capital of only 1,000 inhabitants. Tests of archived blood samples suggest that Kongwayne was likely AIDS-free in 1983, just before the pandemic hit. Ultimately, 40% of the Swazi became infected, compared to less than 1% among South Africa's more urban whites, where the virus first was detected. Nobody disputes AIDS originated in the Congo in Central Africa in the 1950s, spreading at a gradual pace around its initial epicenter, never venturing much to the north nor to the south until the 1980s. But prior to this explosion, for several years, it exclusively spread among South Africa's predominantly white gay community. However, in a sudden turn, the straight black community, which had remained largely unaffected all those years, experienced skyrocketing infection rates, rates far surpassing those of their gay counterparts. And this abrupt surge tapered off after the fall of apartheid, with the white straight community remaining largely untouched throughout. This paradox only occurred in southern Africa, although it seems scientists never took seriously fears of a white supremacist plot. They did voice the same intense criticism we hear today, accusing health agencies and NGOs of suppressing an investigation due to their entwined financial and ownership interests with the medical industry. In the past, mainstream outlets reported on this, but now they seem unwilling, as evidenced by the Times deeming the allegations unworthy of investigation, just dismissing the entire notion that AIDS could possibly have been spread by injection, in sharp contrast to their earlier reports that was how AIDS was being spread. They also previously reported on an American doctor who, 40 years before CIMAR, with far less resources and technology, managed to use sham vaccines to intentionally infect Guatemalans with STDs. Plus, they reported the sale of injectables during the time CIMAR operated, which the sellers knew contained live AIDS virus and resulted in thousands of infections. When I explored Africa, the most trusting children invited me into their homes, seeking no benefit other than English practice. Do they not deserve a thorough examination of evidence to calm or, worst case, confirm fears their trust was betrayed? Measures like retesting old blood samples with modern technology to track viral evolution and publishing anonymized historical medical records of early cases might reveal what happened. Importantly, Fact Mission intends to aid credible whistleblowers using donations to support the cost of coming forward, such as obtaining asylum. Now, turning to the chemtrail conspiracy theory, wouldn't a straightforward solution be to just send up a plane to collect samples from these trails and put the matter to rest? Well, this recent film claims to have done that, purportedly trailing a plane emitting hazardous chemicals for sunlight reflection experiments. Okay, admittedly, films are one-sided and often sensationalized for profit, glossing over innocent explanations. But a proper rebuttal would be a repeat of their exercise involving both proponents and skeptics. Just remember, in the 1940s, another conspiracy theorist claiming airplanes were spraying dangerous chemicals faced ridicule, only to be validated 3 decades later after the human and environmental damage from DDT was irreversible. Should modern geoengineering experiments be underway, it stands to reason they'd be conducted discreetly. This might shield those involved from liability should history repeat and unintended harm arise. Suppressing the topic with the new misinformation regulation only bolsters the convictions of believers, solidifying their views of a grand conspiracy, increasing the risk of violent rebellion. It would be far more effective to just impartially examine the theory, ensuring both proponents and skeptics have a seat at the table. Again, it seems that no reputable research organization is willing, despite lessons from asbestos and tobacco about the dangers of not taking concerns seriously. And now we might be adding aspartame to that list. After 4 decades of denying any possible risk from the ubiquitous sweetener, the WHO reversed course and this year reported a potential cancer link that warrants investigation. Claims that 5G signals harm human tissue have been countered by this nonprofit commission, which to its credit is independent, a refreshing break from regulators funded by the companies they regulate. However, having set the safety limits, they might naturally lean toward defending them. Fact Mission can fill this need, distinctly abstaining from speculation or policy shaping or subjective recommendations. Our nonprofit would commission neutral labs to repeat experiments after inviting both sides to contribute to the test protocol and supervise. Isn't it time we addressed such issues head on now and not risk yet again lamenting legitimate concerns were not taken seriously? I envision establishing this unique nonprofit foundation in Switzerland, known for its charitable trustworthiness and rigorous transparency standards. Our charter will emphasize impartiality, avoiding investments, political involvement, or industry alliances. It will solely research topics of public significance, with Fact Missions financed exclusively by donations that donors can earmark for specific missions. A mission may not necessarily solve the mystery and will never speculate on a conclusion. Rather, success will be gauged by reaching consensus that quality research was conducted, producing findings all sides respect. As a software developer, I am bearing the cost to build a platform for the public to propose and vote for missions and track them. I am actively seeking legal and administrative partners, as well as fundraisers, advisors, and board members with expertise in nonprofits and scientific inquiry. If this vision aligns with yours, please reach out. Thank you.